Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. I know we are a little early today for our normal live stream, but that's life. So, who's excited for this brand new week? We've only got 2 weeks until Halloween. I know I'm excited. I've brought out my Halloween decks. I have another one arriving today that you guys will get to see a little bit later. I recorded some videos this morning for 2 Halloween decks that you guys saw in my live stream on Friday. So let's get going. Good morning, everyone. So there's a ton of you already in the chat. Ladybug was first here before we were even live. Shweta, we've got Kadrika, Monica, Jan, Reaper Moon, Katudivya, welcome everyone, Sonali, High Vibration, Universe Flower, Rupali, Miracle, we haven't seen him in a while, so welcome. P Fate, who else? Did I miss anybody? Shruti, welcome everyone, and if you have not already, if you would like a reading today, all you have to do is put I'd like a reading in the chat. Today is Spirit messages, so straight messages from Spirit. No questions today, guys, okay? These are messages that you need to know. Hello, Carmela. Welcome. Okay, so messages you may have been avoiding, messages maybe you're not interpreting correctly, whatever it happens to be, straight messages from Spirit. This is what they want you to know today, guys. Let's go all the way up to the top. Ladybug, did you want a reading if you're here? Shweta, do you want a spirit reading? I know you posted a question earlier before noticing it was spirit readings. Katrika and Monica, if you guys are here, let me know and we'll just get rolling. All right, Shweta, you are first on the list. We'll get you going right now. So I'm going to give everybody a Halloween card because 'tis the season. And then I'll pick another card from another deck. So those that are regulars will notice that I changed the thumbnail for today. You'll notice there was a big, huge angel on it. That is going to represent our spirit messages. So if you're a returning viewer, anytime you see the angel, you're going to know it's a spirit message day. If you happen to see the one that's got tea and tarot cards in it, that's our tea and tarot day. And then speed tarot, super obvious. It says speed tarot right in the thumbnail. So with that, you guys know exactly what you're getting when you join us. You got it, Scott Murphy. I see you. All right, Shweta, you get the first Halloween card. Ooh, ancestors. So love and legacy of our DNA. Let's read this one before we pull another one for you. Ancestors. I walk in their footsteps. Their wisdom inside me remains. I am unique, yet carry a legacy. Their blood runs in my veins. Whether or not we know our ancestors, we are the product of those who have lived before us, DNA-wise anyway. Externally, we may have the body type of our father or our mother's eyes, our grandmother's nose, our great-grandfather's skin tone. On the inside, it gets even more interesting. We know how we can inherit the way our body works. Blood types, genetic disorders, even propensities for aspects of brain function like introversionism, musicality, and mathematics. Many pagan paths associated with Halloween believe that we are born perfectly imperfect, to be exactly what we are meant to be. What does this mean? It means that the gifts our ancestors left us and the unique synergy of the combination of the physical, mental, and mental and physical, that is created within us sets up the perfect to achieve our ultimate purpose. Should the ancestor card bring itself to your attention, know that you are ready to be able to go into action in your birthright of power. You have the support of those who came before you. There may be challenges or struggles, but you have everything you need to overcome within them. You will prevail. So basically, this is a long-winded version of saying your ancestors are with you, and they're going to be there for you when you need them. Set that right there. Let's see. What other card do you need today? Ooh, let's go this one, Shweta. Soul Truth card, okay? So our ancestors are there for us when we need them, right? Well, what are we going to need them for today? What is our soul truth that we need to work on right now? All right, so your soul truth card today, Shweta. Am I focusing on what I'm losing or gaining? Are you going through some change? Are you scared to let go because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain? Endings are actually new beginnings. Today's soul action. Make a list of all the things you will gain from the change you're going through. Feel your heart. Take a breath and deepen into trust. Amazing things are coming. And guess what? Your ancestors are right there to help you along the way. Beautiful message for you, Shweta. So let's see. Reaper asked a question, I believe. How long have I been into spirituality? How long have I known I've been into spirituality, or how long have I actually been into it, regardless of whether I knew or not? Two totally different things. I have technically been into spirituality since I was a teenager, so probably 20 plus years. But have I been in the knowledge of being in it? It's probably only been about 6 years. So there's a lot of wisdom that you can gain from actually knowing things that you're into. But sometimes we're drawn to it before we even know what it is. Yes, so you guys, I may be reading for someone specifically, but there are occasions when the cards will speak to you directly and you'll be able to feel that. So just know that if I'm reading for somebody else, it doesn't mean that a message is not for you. If it really vibes with you, if it really just, it sounds like I'm talking to you, then no, I'm talking to you. It's that simple. All right, so Katrika or Katudivya, yes, you were on the list. So Katrika, Monica, I think you both commented. Yes, you're both here. Okay, so Katrika and then Monica, and after them is Reaper. And then Katudivya. So most of you are still here, so we will keep going. All right. Katrika, let's see what Halloween Oracle card is meant for you today. Kadrika, you got the apple. Risk and reward. See, I'm going to go ahead. I want to pull. Ooh, okay. So let's see what you got going on here, Kadrika. You got the apple, which sweet icon, risky red desire, poison and freedom, tempting hearts afire. I love the poems that go along with these. Apples have been a symbol of Samhain for a very long time. Apples, when cut in half, in the correct direction, of course, have a seed pattern that looks like a pentagram, and so the Celts held the fruit to be sacred. Bobbing for apples, a game traditionally played at Halloween, has its origin in the Samhain festival and is one of the oldest associated with this celebration. The traditional way to play is to place 3 or 13 into a barrel of water, and the game is to try and bite an apple whilst it floats and bobs in the water. Who has played bobbing for apples as a kid? I know I have. Hands must not be used, and people often compete with each other, bobbing at the same time. It is believed that the Romans brought the custom to Britain, and are quite a few images recorded through art of this activity in both cultures. It was said that unmarried women who placed an apple they had bobbed under their pillow would dream of their future husband. In Newfoundland and some parts of Ireland, even today, Halloween is called Snap Apple Night. Candy apples, apple on a stick covered with toffee or candy coating, although not quite as popular now as they were once as Halloween fare, they're now a comeback as fun and simple treat to prepare on this night. So this is just a representation of the risk you can take. Bobbing for apples can be very dangerous, but you can also have great reward. So with that being said, your tarot cards that I pulled to go along with it, you got a 5 and an 8 in wands, okay? Both of which are in reverse. So I'm seeing a huge lack of working in your passion. What you are truly passionate about, you've put on the back burner. And you need to take more risk to gain the reward and be able to work in the area that you want to. So this could be a career thing for you. This could be a hobby thing for you. But even as a hobby, it could be essentially self-care. So you need to take more risk and you will gain more reward in the area of your passion. So Katrika, what is your passion? What really gets you going? What would you do for free every day of your life if you had the opportunity and the means to do so? That's the answer to your question. Well, to the message that the spirits are giving you. That's what you need to be doing. Yeah, Scott, bobbing for apples is super hard. I actually got really good at it for a while, but I haven't done it in years. Like, so long. All right, Monica, it is your turn. Let's get you a Halloween Oracle card. Universe Flower, you are on the list. If you guys already commented, you are already on the list. So this next one is for Monica. You are so welcome, Katrika. All right, Monica, what did you get? Ooh, you got the Graveyard. Unnecessary fear. I love that. So, a lot of people are scared of graveyards. But why? Why are they scared of graveyards? What is there to truly be scared about? It's not like malevolent spirits are going to be lurking around a graveyard. They have no reason to. Could there be spirits in a graveyard? Oh, absolutely. But it's most likely, as long as you're not destroying their headstones, you're probably good. Good morning, Barry. We are doing Spirit messages with the Halloween Oracle deck. Monica, graveyard. Let's read the poem that goes with it. The stones they mark, the eternal resting place, yet the spirits they are walking, and they are ready for the chase. So don't destroy the headstones. All right, today's modern graveyards are restful places, normally highly manicured and very well set out. Whilst they can be places of profound sadness, few are the creepy Gothic places of old. Yet they still hold an undercurrent of fear and seem frightening places. Due to countless stories of haunted graveyards, the thought of walking through cemeteries evokes fear in many of us. Not me. I actually kind of enjoy it. We imagine zombies and ghosts rising from the graves and bad spirits hiding out, waiting to harm an unsuspecting living person who walks by. The idea of being at a graveyard after dark, or worse, at midnight, is the stuff of dares and nightmares. But this isn't the way of every culture. On the Mexican Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, whole families picnic on the graves of their loved ones who have passed. Children play upon the graves, people play music, drink wine, and share food, all in the company of the dead. Graveyard dust is used as an ingredient in protective spells, not in curses. Pull this card and know that your fear is unnecessary. Things are not as they seem, and you can overcome your obstacles. The anxieties you have, although real, should be put aside before they haunt you long term. Instead, trust that you know the correct next step and that you will act upon it. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're fearing, this is what we're talking about. It's not necessarily about graveyards, okay? There's something you are afraid of. Know that that fear is unnecessary. Let's pull you a couple more cards here. All right, Monica, so you have everything you need, just like the card said. You, however, are not exercising your voice enough. That's probably what you're afraid of, what this is referring to. The Muse card here is your voice. So don't be afraid to speak up and use your voice in areas that actually matter and that concern you. So I love it. These Halloween cards are spectacular. Your fear, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Feeling a little nostalgic today, guys. Check it out. I've had this mug since I was like 5. Totally retro. No way, Reaper. Really? 444 subscribers? Woo! Yes. The angels are with us, which is totally awesome because, spirit messages. So, all right. So we finished Monica. Next is Reaper, and then Katudivya, and then Sonali. The angels have spoken, guys. Yes. Yes, it is a breakable universe, but I have managed to keep it that long through many moves. In fact, initially, when I was 5, I lived in California, so it moved from California to Idaho. It moved in Idaho multiple times, and from Idaho to North Dakota, where I was stationed when I was in the service, and then back to Idaho. So yeah, it's moved around quite a bit, and it is still in perfect condition. It is a very heavy mug though, so it's very thick-walled. All right, Reaper. Ooh, you got one of the skull cards, Reaper. So this is the Skull of Darkness, blind spots. We've been talking a lot about shadows lately. It is shadow season. It is time to shine the light on the shadows. So let's see what this card says. The Skull of Darkness. We may not wish to delve there, the shadows, the darkness, the unknown. Yet when we search, we reveal, and our power, it has grown. Oh my God, I have chills. Seriously, if you guys could see them, I got chills. The beautiful and mysterious Skull of Darkness encourages us to look to the part of ourselves that normally remains hidden or as unseen as possible. We may not appreciate or like certain aspects of ourselves, and yet sometimes our greatest treasures lie within these areas. How many times have you heard of famous artists or people extremely successful in their fields being bullied for being so different? Yet it is their very differences from each other that make them so powerful. Additionally, all of us at the same stage of our life have certain blind spots that may cause us grief and trouble. Although we cannot see the issue clearly, it is the repeated patterns of pain that may alert us to them. Symptoms, if you will. For example, the same things keep happening over and over and over again. We may be betrayed repeatedly, fail at something repeatedly, not complete tasks continually. Peace and pattern breaking can be achieved by doing the work of uncovering our blind spots, our shadows, or even consulting trusted close friends or professionals to assist us to see what we cannot. This is amazing. You know, I don't even think you need more cards on this because your guides are telling you you have shadows that you need to work on, and yeah, that's what you need to do right now. You've been getting those messages often, so sorry guys. That's my alarm saying I need to drink my tea. I'm doing a tea cleanse with my magic hour. Anyway, back to what we were doing. So if you've been getting those messages a lot, Reaper, then you definitely need to work on your shadows. Now is the perfect time. Like I said, we are in shadow season, so the light is starting to disappear. The shadows are getting bigger. It's time to shine the light on the shadows. Now, I had this discussion with Hannah Mori the other day. We will never get rid of all of our shadows. What? Go talk to Dad. Okay? Our shadows exist to show us how bright our light truly is. Okay? The brighter your light, the darker the shadows. All right? That doesn't mean you're going to have a lot of shadows, but every single thing on this planet has a shadow. Everything does. That doesn't mean it's bad, right? Shadows are just part of us, but we can work on them. We can bring things that are not actually serving us. Sometimes shadows do serve us. They protect us from things. But those shadows that are not protecting us, we need to get rid of those. Okay, so shine the light on them. Take that flashlight into that deep dark corner and see what's there. Definitely start working on that, Reaper. Like I said, you don't even, that's your message. You don't even need any more than that. All right, Katu Divya, Sonali, High Vibration, in that order. Carmela, your birth time is 444? That's awesome. Mine was 11:58 p.m. Hello, Mima. All right, Katu Divya. You got the vampire, emotional intelligence. Let's read the vampire card. Ooh. The deepest, the coldest, the craving of blood, the hole never filled, the longing like a flood. Whilst there are almost uncannibal examples of vampires in literature, movies, and games, somehow the archetype of the blood-hunting, night-stalking, and somewhat elegant creature keeps being reinvented to seduce yet another generation. Although the beautiful and somewhat desirable vampire form doesn't really begin to enter the public consciousness until the mid-1800s, the idea of a human feeding upon the very stuff of life is very much older. The Egyptians, Sumerians, and Indians, and the Balkan people all have mythos containing vampire-like creatures. The vampire is an interesting figure because it is both horrifying and desirable. Having someone want us so much that they desire to be that close, linked with us, does feel good. Until we realize there's nothing much left of us to give. Most of us have heard of the concept of emotional vampirism, the idea that people feed off our energy and our goodwill and take advantage of us through manipulation and their incessant neediness. Should the vampire card appear in your reading, it may indicate that you are being drained in this way and that the time has come for stronger boundaries. We need to be very aware of what gives us energy in our lives and what takes away. We should be aware of needing people to need us the way I can't talk. We should be aware of needing people to need us and why we invite people like us into our homes, workplaces, and lives, if indeed we have them around us. Developing the emotional intelligence within ourselves helps us defend against this kind of emotional psychic attack and enables us to foster healthy, equal relationships of all kinds. So, Katudivya, reinforce your boundaries. Some of these messages, guys, are like so to the point that you're not even needing extra cards. Sonali, are you still here? All right, I'm going to go ahead and do yours, High Vibration, while we're waiting for Sonali to comment. Sonali, if you're here, please comment here. After that is Universe Flower. And then Rupali, if you're still here. Got some powerful messages today, guys. All right. High Vibration, you got Winter. The sacredness of pausing. This should be a good one. Winter. Lightly I step, for the earth falls asleep, a lullaby to rest and pause, the soul's secrets to keep. Death is frightening, even though, or perhaps because, it is inescapable. However, as we move into winter, we know it signals a literal and metaphysical death. In some parts of the planet, the extreme weather means snow and ice buries all life, and the ground lies fallow and still. In winter, the earth slows down, and there is less light and more wet weather. Many plants die back. Many animals are less active, and traditionally, it was a leaner, more difficult time for those who worked on the land for their living. Winter often brought with it the end of a life cycle, a figurative or literal death. Should the winter card appear to you, it's time to let what no longer serve you die away. Whether it seems natural and right to let things that have been bothering you for some time die back, take real action to change those things. Anything that is superfluous, extra, and burdensome, please release it. Release what is no longer serving you. That is powerful. All right, we got to speed up here, guys. I'm being long-winded today. All right, Sonali has not commented, so we're going to pass by her. Universe Flower, it is your turn. And then Miracle. My friend Micah. All right, Universe Flower. Make sure when I call your guys' names that you comment so I know you're here and so I know to do your reading. You are so welcome, High Vibration. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of direction for the week. All right. Universe Flower, you got the Jack-o'-lantern. This is protection. Let's see what kind of protection we need. Oh Jack, let me carve my protection. Shine your fire outwards, evil rejection and reflection. Halloween wouldn't be the same without the carving of pumpkins into scary jack-o'-lanterns, glowing menacingly from porches, dinner tables, and porches everywhere. Jacks actually have a rich history and spiritual bent. The original term of jack-o'-lantern was a will-o'-the-wisp, and Old British term. The will-o'-the-wisp was the small bundle of sticks used as a flame or torch. The Celts, the Irish, and those living in the Scottish Highlands all carved winter vegetables. Not just pumpkins, but also parsnips, carrots, or beets. The time around Samhain, or Halloween, was, of course, when the Fae and the goblins were said to be roaming wild, and so the lanterns were intended to be both scary, scaring off the undesirable, and to light the way in the dark. Today, carving pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns has become an art in and of itself, and a true icon of Halloween. Intricate designs, both scary and funny, can be found almost every home that celebrates the holiday, both eclectic and artistic. Both electric lights and candles now illuminate inside of the lanterns. Know that you are protected and that you are capable of creating the life that you want, and the universe supports you. And this should Jack shine his light upon you. Boundaries are important to teach people how to treat us, and drawing this card indicates that you may wish to renew the ones you have or to establish new ones. So here's another card about boundaries. You're coloring a Scottish Highland cow? That's awesome. So just know that the jack-o'-lantern was put out to protect homes from malevolent beings, as well as to light the way. They are a symbol of protection. Boundaries. Love it. You are so welcome, Universe Flower. I love these cards. These are so fun. Let's see. Rupali has not commented, so we're going to go on to Miracle. It is your turn, followed by Scott Murphy. If he's still here, you can have your reading after Micah. Hello, Arata. The weather here is cold and slightly windy. Not like super duper cold yet, but cold enough for me. All right. Let's see what you get here, Micah. Ooh, you got the mummy. Guess what the mummy stands for? Change. I know for a fact the Egyptian aspect of this card speaks loudly to you, Micah. Mummy. Let's see what the mummy says. Mummy. The sand in his mouth, the bandages wound, jealous of the living, eternal life bound. The ancient Egyptians took death very seriously. Death was seen, not seen, as many of us see it. That's a confusing sentence. Death was seen, not seen, as many of us see it. A finality to be dreaded, but as just a beginning of the new life and often eternal life in a better place, the afterlife. The practice of honoring and preserving the body through a complex process of mummification was central to ancient Egyptian culture. This was not just a physical embalming process, but a carefully enacted ritual process that ensured preservation in the next world. Many other cultures also mummified their dead, including the Incas, the Argentinians, the Maori, and many other cultures of the Torres Strait Islands. In our modern horror genres, the mummy has become an icon for early horror writing. In the turn of the century was very popular films The Mummy Returns. The plot normally involves around a mummy returning to life and cursing and hunting down the living. The discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb and other long-hidden Egyptian treasures in the 1920s in particular sparked an explosion in mummy-related films and literature. Should you pull the moaning mummy card of the deck, know that change is inevitable and that no matter how hard you try, things will not be preserved exactly the same way. The card also indicates that this change will be for the better. The endings, the closing of doors, the barriers. This is just a healthy pause and an indication that a change of tracks is needed. You are not cursed. You have just developed a pattern. You can take control and change it. Wow. I love how the mummy represents change when the mummy itself is never changing. I love that. It's awesome. All right. Take a sip and then it's Scott Murphy's time. So after Scott Murphy will be, looks like Shruti, if you're still here, and then Carmela, followed by Ocean. So Scott Murphy, Shruti, Carmela, and Ocean. Yeah, can you say just a little bit there, Micah? Yeah, totally. All right, sorry, Danielle. Need more elbow room. Scott Murphy, what do you need to know right now? Ooh, Scott, you got the witching hour. The most magical hour of all. Midnight. The dark, it envelops me. The witching hour awaits. True magic and enchantment and spells that change fate. The middle of the night, midnight, is the hour in which it is believed that ghosts, witches, ghouls, and magic are most likely to be active. Transition times such as noon, The time between tides or even dark moon are traditionally powerful times of magical transformation. In some Christian traditions, the witching hour is seen as 3 a.m. because it is opposite to the time that Jesus is said to have died at 3 p.m. But there is some consensus that midnight is the time of greatest magic, particularly around Halloween. As soon as the clock strikes midnight on Halloween, it is said that the spirits flow forward through the veil and, if benevolent, bring positive messages. If not so benevolent, they are mischievous and play tricks at best, or worse, cause havoc. Allow yourself to relax into the benevolent darkness of midnight. You may feel this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return again. The dawn always follows the darkness. Know that it is important to recognize that we all have darkness within us. What were we talking about earlier? Just as we have light, and this isn't something to hide from. That is amazing, Scott. Spectacular. All right, Shruti, it is your turn. So this reading is for Shruti. After this one is for Carmela, and then Ocean. Welcome, Shri Shiti. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Today is Spirit messages, so no questions today. These are straight messages from Spirit right out of the Halloween Oracle deck. All right, Shruti, you got the Skull of Stars. Infinite possibilities. Skull of Stars says, why think so small? When galaxies spin within, release that you are made of. The stuff of stars, the infinite possibilities begin. This skull brings us back to the fact that we are all made of the stuff from the stars, yet many of us think so small. We are each born into a blank canvas to paint upon, and we are indeed an open sky of possibilities. It is easy to feel small in a world that is so busy, impersonal, and seemingly self-absorbed. We can, at times, feel lost and unclear about our direction and lose sight of our place in the cosmos. The Skull of Stars reminds us that we are only limited to our own imagination and boundaries. If we can dream it, it is possible. This card indicates that you need to think bigger and more broadly about your future and what you would like to achieve. Perhaps there are false beliefs, often old, that no longer serve you as you grow and change. Sometimes those beliefs are not even yours. They may have been imparted to you by your parents or a wider community, yet feel rather incongruent to you. You need to endeavor with all of your heart and soul to live the life you want and honor your own wishes and truth. So, infinite possibilities. And if you have beliefs that are no longer serving you, let them go. Whether they were yours initially, whether they were your parents, you have so much potential. Don't let anything hold you back. All right, Carmela, Ocean, and then I already did Shweta. So Carmela and Ocean, and I'll scroll down some more. So Carmela, let's see what you got. You are so welcome, Scott. I am really loving these cards, guys. I don't know about you, but definitely. I might just have to redo the deck review video that I did. Hello, Sharon. Today is Spirit messages, so we're not doing questions. These are straight messages from Spirit. But if you would like a reading, the readings are free. I do accept donations if you would like to donate, or if you would like to be at the top of the list. But my live readings are free, unless otherwise stated. All right. Here we go, Carmela. Are you ready for this? You got forgiveness, reducing burden. So, forgiveness. A wrong is done. Consequences you cannot deny, but to hold a grudge is to drink poison and think that the other person will die. Being a cold season festival, Halloween is the perfect time to pause and think about how things actually are in our lives and what heavy burdens we do not wish to carry through these harder, leaner times. Some of this heavy-heartedness may relate to an old relationship or grievances. Some may relate to negative feelings we hold on tightly to about others, and even a lack of compassion for the mistakes we have made ourselves. It is said that it takes a big person to apologize, but in many ways it takes an even bigger person to forgive. When we hold grudges, the negative energy is incredibly toxic. It is like drinking a poison and expecting the other person to die. Whilst we may even harbor feelings of revenge, and to be honest, that does feel good for a while, it is important that we move those feelings along to forgiveness and release as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. If you have chosen this card, think about who it is that you could be forgiving, and that includes yourself. Yeah. Mic drop. Who could you be forgiving? Could even be yourself. All right, Ocean. You are so welcome, dear. I do wish this deck was a little bit thicker, though. I would love more cards. All right, Ocean. You got Bambarak, the sweetness and synergy. It must be a bread. If anybody can tell me what exactly... Well, I'm sure this is going to tell us. Let's see. Bambarak. A pea, a cloth, a coin, a ring, and a stick within a loaf of speckled sweetness. Slice it and eat it, a glimpse of my fate's completeness. Not quite a cake and not quite a bread, Bambarak is a sweet loaf, larger than a typical bread loaf, baked with flour, sugar, salt, and dried fruits such as raisins. The making of Bambarak is an Irish tradition that still stands around Samhain and Halloween. The person baking the loaf would be sure to set the intention for love, truth, and synergy whilst preparing. Inside the dough, a number of special objects are hidden and baked into the loaf. The objects are used as a kind of random oracle. Each one has a particular meaning, which represents the fate of the person who found it in their slice. The traditional objects include a coin, a pea, a stick, a ring, and a small piece of cloth like muslin. Some other additions, made in more modern times, were religious medals. Should your slice of the barak contain a coin, this would indicate prosperity and good luck. The P, unfortunately, meant that no marriage would occur for you that year. Yet finding the ring meant a marriage was certain. The stick, to be avoided at all cost, indicated disputes and unhappiness, and finding the cloth meant bad luck and little money ahead. When you pull this card, it indicates a curiosity to know what is ahead and what is important to balance that with now. After all, we have the tools to change our future should we choose. The sweet synergy of this loaf is the ingredients, including the objects, are more complete and powerful together than they are individually. Should encourage you to seek your own sweet spot. So, all the ingredients are more powerful together, the good and the bad. That's a spectacular thing to remember. Everybody goes through good things in life. Everybody goes through bad things. It is important for us to be grateful for the bad along with the good. So I think that's really your message here, Ocean, is just take time to be grateful for the bad things that have happened in your life. Look at how much you've grown from those things in just this last year. They are blessings in disguise. All right, let's scroll down and see where we're at. Got all you guys done. All right, Mima, are you still here? So I've got Mima next. And then Fairy after Mima. Followed by Shrishti, if you're still here. So please comment, guys, if you're here so I know to do your reading. All right, I see you, Shrishti. I know Fairy's here. Mima, are you still here? All right, so I'm going to do Fairy's reading while I'm waiting for Mima to comment. Arata, you are getting close to the top of the list. I think you are right after Shrishti. All right, so Fairy, your card. You also got the Skull of Stars, Infinite Possibilities. So I'll read you the poem again, and if you would like me to send you a picture of the book for your reference later, I can absolutely do that, but I'm not going to read the whole thing again. Skull of Stars. Why think so small when galaxies spin within? Realize that you are made of the stuff of the stars and infinite possibilities begin. Love it. Screenshot. I will definitely send you the meaning on that one when we're done here. So, in fact, let me just take a picture so I don't forget. Wow, that was convenient. I opened right to the page. Okay, I got that for you, so I'll send it over to you when we're done here. All right, so Shrishti. Mima hasn't commented yet, so we're just going to keep on going. Shrishti, this reading is for you. I appreciate you so much, Fairy. You have no idea. I love you. One day, we're going to meet up and we're going to have a party. You're not super far from me, so. All right, Shrishti, you got the zombie. This is all about control. Let's see what zombie says. The dead arise, voices a mumbling, after our brains, our screams, they are tumbling. I so love the poems. These are amazing. Zombies have become quite the fashion recently, just like vampires, to be honest. Turn on the television and you can't escape the moaning and groaning of these, the living dead. And yes, they do seem to be after your brains. There are even public zombie walks where people dress up as zombies and appear in masses on roads and in cities. But zombies are not merely a fun icon of popular culture. Traditionally, they are mainly associated with the African and Haitian voodoo religion. Zombies are said to be dead bodies reanimated by incantations chanted by a learned practitioner called a bokor. They are usually enlivened for a purpose. The practitioner is said to capture a part of a living soul to animate the body, and that it is always a temporary action, as the soul cannot be contained in that decomposing body for long, or God will take the soul back. One of the most frightening aspects of the idea of zombieism is our idea that our souls and consciousness being trapped inside a body that does not do our bidding, but someone else's. Another is the idea of being buried alive, the fate of someone, it is said, who gets trapped in an already dead body. Should the zombie step up unsteadily into your life, so when you get this card, it's time to look at the concept of control. Do you want to control everything, leaving a little to free expression? Do you choose partners who are not your equal so that they are more easily manipulated and changed in your liking? Or do you allow that to happen to you? If you're not living your most authentic life, it's time to look at why and how to change it. Zombie. All right, Mima, I see you. I will do you next, and then Arata after Mima. All right, let's see which Halloween card you get, Mima. You are welcome. We're definitely digging out the shadows today, guys, aren't we? All right, Mima, you get winter as well. The sacredness of pausing. So I will read your poem, but I'm not going to read the whole description again. Lightly I step, for the earth falls asleep, a lullaby to rest and pause, the soul's secrets to keep. So I'll read the last paragraph for you in case you missed this reading earlier. Should the winter card appear to you, it's time to let what no longer serves you die away. There, where seems natural and right to let things that have been bothering you for some time die back. Take real action to change those things. Anything that is superfluous or extra and burdensome, release it. Now is the time. All right, errata. So it is your term, errata. And then looks like Sharon, cherry on top. If you're still here, you'll be after errata. All right, errata, your card is Dawn, the light after the darkness. Let's see what Dawn has to say. After the darkest times, the sun will always rise. The dawn will always come. This can be no surprise. Whilst midnight is often thought of as a magical hour, throughout time, dawn has also had its share of the mystical. All manner of magical beings had to return to their true forms by dawn. Werewolves, for example, and vampires could only be active whilst the rays of sun did not pierce the sky. Dawn and its deities of dawn heralded both hope and new life. Goddesses such as I am so bad at names. Estoré? Apologize. And gods like Helios and Apollo were those who brought new life and the dawn's light to the world. The journey from darkest night of the soul to a bright and hopeful dawn is one of the deepest and most powerful hero paths repeated over and over in mythology. Should you receive the Dawn card, you are being reminded that there is always a fresh start and a new beginning to be had. Change is unstoppable, and even the most difficult times will pass, no matter how devastating they may seem. Hope is one of the most powerful motivating forces in the universe, and it's being indicated here. Hope. This too shall pass. All right, Sharon, cherry on top, are you still with us? Is there anybody that is in the chat that I missed? Did we get everybody? I just did your reading right before the last one, Mima. Welcome back, Sonali. Yes, I will get you a reading. I think the chat might be a little slow today. I do have kids doing school right now too, so. Sonali, you are going to be the last reading today. So if I still got some mods in the chat, would one of you put readings closed for me? All right, Sonali, you, my dear, got the cauldron, synergy, and healing. Let's see what the cauldron says. Where all things come together, under pressure, flowful synergy, the new thing is created, a crucible of infinity. Ooh, I love it. Check out that imagery. So beautiful. The typical depiction of a witch sees her standing over a boiling cauldron, slowly stirring the bubbly and mysterious content. As she stirs the enormous metal pot over the raw flames, she cackles and incants commands to all the elements, transforming the content into something magical. Cauldrons were commonly used in ancient and medieval times for everything from the nightly meal to the making of medicines. This family crucible was usually placed within the hearth of the home, making it an essential part of the gathering of the family. Much healing and nourishment came from the cauldron. Should you receive the cauldron card, it indicates the importance of combining a variety of techniques or elements to get the best result. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Refuse to choose just a single rigid pathway when a variety of ways are there and to be enjoyed and experienced. You can find your own way to create something new. The cauldron is a deeply transformational tool. Things change once they are put under pressure. Resilience is being cultivated over time, and this means that you will be able to withstand any negative pressure much more heavily from the inside out. Beautiful. Know that you can handle that pressure, Sonali. Let's see. You can pull out. You work better under pressure. Something new is being created. Think of a diamond, okay? So diamonds are created under pressure, right? Immense pressure. That without that diamond, or without the pressure, the diamond would just be a lump of coal. You come out better on the other side from the pressure that happens in life. So, beautiful, beautiful reading. I will be posting a deck review on this one, as well as the Halloween tarot cards that you guys saw on Friday. So look forward to those this week. And we will have speed tarot on Friday. Absolutely, Sonali. I 100% think so. Yes. Diamonds are caused by pressure. You are just a diamond in the making. I love you guys, and we'll see you on Friday. Have a spectacular week. Bye.